What if I told you that cleaning your house only when visitors are coming doesn't necessarily mean you're lazy? Psychology suggests it may reveal something much deeper about how your brain responds to social expectations, motivation, and even anxiety. And by the end of this video, you might understand yourself better than ever before. Have you ever noticed that your house suddenly becomes spotless the moment someone says they're coming over? If so, you're far from alone. Many people leave chores undone for days or even weeks, yet find the energy to clean every room just before guests arrive. At first glance, this might seem like simple procrastination or laziness, but psychology suggests there's often much more going on. From social pressure to hidden motivation, your last-minute cleaning habits can reveal surprising insights about how your mind works and why visitors can become your biggest source of motivation. 1. Social judgment. One of the biggest reasons people suddenly clean before visitors arrive is the fear of being judged. Human beings are naturally social, and most of us care about the impression we leave on others. A messy home can feel like more than just dirty dishes or clothes on the floor. It can feel like a reflection of our personality, responsibility, or even our success. Psychologists call this impression management. It's the tendency to change our behavior when we know other people will see us. Just as someone might dress more neatly for an important meeting, many people tidy their homes because they want guests to see the best version of themselves. Interestingly, this doesn't always mean they're trying to impress others. Sometimes they're simply trying to avoid embarrassment. They may worry that visitors will assume they're lazy, disorganized, or unable to manage their daily lives, even if that's far from the truth. That's why a text saying, "I'm on my way," can suddenly trigger a burst of energy that seemed impossible just moments before. The visitors haven't even arrived, yet the mind has already switched into presentation mode. The house becomes a stage, and cleaning becomes a way of protecting one's image and feeling more confident when the doorbell finally rings. 2. External motivation. Another powerful reason is external motivation. Some people find it difficult to clean when they're doing it only for themselves, but the thought of visitors creates a clear purpose and a sense of accountability. Instead of cleaning because they should, they're cleaning because someone will actually see the result. This external deadline makes the task feel more urgent and rewarding. Psychologists have found that many people perform better when there's an outside expectation, which explains why a visit from friends or family can suddenly provide the motivation that was missing all week. 3. Decision fatigue. Another reason some people wait until visitors are coming is something psychologists call decision fatigue. Every day, your brain makes hundreds of choices: what to wear, what to eat, how to respond to messages, when to work, and countless other small decisions. By the end of the day, your mental energy can be drained, making even simple tasks like cleaning feel overwhelming. When your house is messy, it can be hard to know where to begin. Should you wash the dishes first? Vacuum the floor? Fold the laundry? Wipe the counters? Having too many options can lead to procrastination because your brain struggles to choose the first step. However, everything changes when visitors are on the way. Suddenly, your goal becomes crystal clear. Make the house presentable before they arrive. Instead of debating what to do, your brain quickly prioritizes the most noticeable tasks. The pressure of a deadline removes much of the uncertainty, making decisions easier and helping you take action. This is why many people can accomplish an hour's worth of cleaning in just 20 minutes before guests arrive. It's not always because they suddenly have more energy. It's because the deadline simplifies their choices and pushes their brain into action. 4. Emotional attachment to clutter. For some people, the challenge isn't cleaning itself. It's letting go of the things that create the clutter. Our homes often become filled with objects that carry memories, emotions, or the hope that they'll be useful someday. An old birthday card, a worn-out shirt, or a stack of magazines may seem insignificant to others, but to the owner, each item can represent a meaningful part of their life. Psychologists have found that people often assign emotional value to their possessions. This emotional attachment can make it difficult to organize or throw things away, even when those items are no longer useful. As a result, clutter slowly builds up, not because someone enjoys living in a messy space, but because every decision feels surprisingly personal. When visitors are about to arrive, however, priorities often shift. The desire to make the home feel welcoming temporarily outweighs the emotional hesitation to deal with clutter. Instead of carefully deciding what to keep or discard, people are more likely to place items in drawers, closets, or storage boxes just to create a cleaner appearance. In many cases, the clutter hasn't truly disappeared. It has simply been moved out of sight until another day. This doesn't mean the person is being dishonest. Rather, it reflects the way our minds balance emotional comfort with social expectations. The presence of guests creates a stronger, more immediate motivation than the slow and often emotional process of sorting through possessions. If you've ever found yourself saying, "I'll decide what to do with this later," you're not alone. Many people experience the same struggle. Cleaning before visitors often becomes less about removing clutter and more about creating a space that feels calm, welcoming, and ready to share with others. It highlights how emotions, memories, and human psychology can quietly shape the way we care for our homes. 5. The deadline effect. Perhaps the most powerful reason people only clean before visitors arrive is something psychologists call the deadline effect. Simply put, people are much more likely to take action when they know time is running out. A task that has been ignored for days can suddenly become the highest priority the moment there's a clear deadline attached to it. Think about how many people wait until the night before an assignment is due, or postpone preparing for an event until the last minute. The same pattern often applies to cleaning. As long as there is no specific reason to act today, the brain convinces us that the task can wait until tomorrow. But once someone says, "We'll be there in 30 minutes, tomorrow disappears. The deadline creates urgency, and urgency sparks action. This happens because our brains naturally respond to immediate consequences more strongly than distant ones. A messy house on an ordinary day may not seem like a serious problem, but the thought of someone walking through the front door and seeing that mess makes the situation feel real and immediate. That shift in perspective increases focus, motivation, and even energy. Interestingly, many people discover that they can clean their entire home much faster than they ever imagined. They stop aiming for perfection and begin focusing on what matters most: clearing surfaces, washing dishes, vacuuming visible areas, and making the space feel comfortable. Instead of overthinking every detail, they simply keep moving from one task to the next. The deadline effect also explains why some people say they work best under pressure. While waiting until the last minute isn't always the healthiest habit, a clear deadline can reduce procrastination by giving the brain a specific target to work toward. It removes uncertainty and replaces it with a sense of purpose. So, if you only find yourself cleaning when visitors are on their way, it doesn't automatically mean you're lazy or disorganized. It may simply mean your brain responds more strongly to external deadlines than to open-ended tasks. Understanding this can help you create your own deadlines, making it easier to stay motivated, even when no guests are expected. Cleaning your house only before visitors arrive doesn't automatically mean you're lazy, careless, or disorganized. In many cases, it's the result of normal psychological patterns that influence how we think, feel, and stay motivated. Whether it's the desire to make a good impression, the boost from external motivation, decision fatigue, emotional attachment to clutter, or the power of a deadline, each reason shows that our habits are often shaped by the way our brains respond to everyday situations. The good news is that once you understand these patterns, you can start working with them instead of against them. Creating small deadlines, breaking chores into simple steps, or giving yourself a reason to stay accountable can make cleaning feel much less overwhelming, even when no visitors are expected. If you saw yourself in any of these reasons, you're definitely not alone. Now we'd love to hear from you. Which reason describes you best? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and learned something new about human behavior, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating psychology insights. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.